Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 24-year-old from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. His hockey journey has taken him to Canada, Croatia, and England. As a player, was a staple of the Columbia Valley Rockies, but he was already a professional coach before he was out of junior hockey, folks. He got his start in the Ebel with Medveščak Zagreb of Croatia, perhaps before he had pubic hair. He currently bleeds orange and is a Challenge Cup champion with the Sheffield Steelers. He has 5 seasons of coaching pro hockey under his belt. And folks, he is only 24 years of age. Welcome to the shed, Carter Beston-Will.
Thank you so much for having me. What an introduction.
Yeah. So research team was hot here. I get into how we know each other.
Yeah.
I don't know you. Nice to meet you.
No, this is our first time meeting. Yeah.
I'd never research team had never got hot on you. Didn't know what you'd done. I just saw your coach in Sheffield and I wanted to chat.
Well, thank you for having me. I was really looking forward to it. I know we just touched on it briefly, but I was feeling pretty bad. You messaged me probably a month ago wanting to do it, and I really wanted to do it. And I know you were going out to Cardiff and had for the Myers testimonial there. How was that, by the way? It looked pretty awesome.
It was everything I hoped it would be and more. I hadn't been over there in a long time, and to get to celebrate his career and I guess I saw a lot of shed clothing around the rink, which kind of made my heart want to explode. So that was pretty neat.
Oh yeah. You see it in Sheffield too. You see it all over the place over there. And so I knew you were because of the podcast. Obviously,
that's cool, right? Meeting, I think that's cool.
Yeah. No.
We actually had Sheffield Steelers come. We had Sheffield Steelers fans come to the Myers testimonial.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I got pictures with them and stuff. So there are some Steeler fans, and we got a Steelers fan getting a Two Ales and Hockey Tales tattoo July 15th. Folks.
No way. There you go.
Pretty exciting stuff, folks.
Yeah, they're pretty. Those fans are crazy. They're loyal. Oh, they're
passionate.
Awesome.
You could say.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, that's the perfect word. Perfect word.
Pretty excited about that tattoo. So we don't know each other, but I guess you've been coaching a bunch of shed guys, right? Let's see here. Robert Dowd, just met him at the testimonial, and he's about to have a testimonial, eh?
Yeah. This testimonial you're coming up here. He's a great guy. Great bloke. He's a top bloke.
Great looking too. Fantastic looking.
Fantastic looking. Best looking guy in the league, probably.
I would say so. Yeah. I haven't seen anything better out there. Good hair.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always done. It's always perfectly done.
And he's the top scorer ever for the Steelers. Like, kid, you don't get to have it all, Robert. You know,
man. Have you seen him fight?
No, he can fight too.
It's crazy. Nails. He's an absolute nail gun.
What?
Like he led our team in fights this year, I bet. Yeah.
And he's still that good looking.
Exactly. And he's a over 30 goal scorer, and I don't think I've seen him lose in 3 years of coaching him. I don't think I've seen him lose a fight.
Who's he fighting? Why is he fighting?
Anybody. He's the kind of guy who sees red. You know, he sees red and he just goes. Not like
you're not talking.
He does it.
A competitor that was like that, which I don't know if you would have coached against him, is Andrew Hotham. He used to be like our best defenseman in Cardiff, and he'd also beat people up.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. He gets Doughty gets this like this haze where even if it's not a fight sometimes, or something happens, like if a puck's stolen from him, you see it like in the look in his eye. It sounds ridiculous, but you actually do.
I know what you mean. There's guys that happens to. You see.
Oh yeah, and he just a switch goes, and like there's an extra gear that he takes up, and he doesn't lose a puck battle. He doesn't lose a race, and then if someone looks at him funny, he'll just drop him and beat the crap out of him. So
and then he's clutch at the end of the game, score a goal. Sounds like you might need to come to the shed soon, Robert. You know?
Yeah. Get him on.
And then your captain. So I'm gonna have to have him on again, Jono, because we had a great chat in the bathroom at Matthew Meyer's testimonial at the bar because it was too loud in the bar. So everybody went to the bathroom to chat hockey. And
Right.
I'm sure there's some fans out there that don't know what all went on in Jono's season, but that guy's a warrior.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, there's a reason. He's our captain and has been the Steelers captain for whatever. It's been like 15 years or something, but
I couldn't believe
crazy
what he was playing through.
Yeah, he's crazy. And he's one of those guys. I mean, you get players who we actually have to like pull the reins on him. Like John, don't take the day. Like you don't need to go out there today. And then even that, it's like he wants to meet you in the middle. Like, okay, if I can't go on the ice, then he'll go to Mike, our strength and conditioning coach, and be like, "Hey, let's do this in the gym today." Like just an absolute machine. He's
just
39.
An animal,
too.
eh? Gosh,
He's
I'm so tired at 38.
Yeah, it's crazy what he's doing up there. So
I think
guy.
he's still got a lot left in the tank. Like I saw him there last weekend. Like he's still jacked, and if he doesn't have those injuries, I mean, who knows what he's still got lots in the tank, and that's something fans will probably never know what guys play through. They maybe don't see the numbers that they've had before, but like, man, that's a teammate. That's a leader.
No, he's absolutely he's the perfect example of what a captain should be.
I guess everybody's wondering. We kind of have to say now, right? What was wrong with him? It's not like it's still broken, right?
No, it was basically just he had a couple
broken sternum and fractured rib, right?
Yeah.
He played like 20 games, folks, like that. That's just absolutely
he basically, like, we knew something was wrong for a long time, but Jono again just like oh, I'll be fine. And then basically we found out like 3 weeks and he's been playing with that for like 3 weeks. And we're just like, what? And then he's still like, I'm good to go. We're like, no, Jono. He's like, well, I've already been playing like within the 3 weeks. We're like, Jono, let's get you right.
Settle down,
like,
big guy.
He's just awesome though. Just a true just a perfect example for that kind of guy.
He's been the identity of the Steelers for a long time, and they've been a hard team to beat for decades because they got a leader like that, right?
100%. His jersey will be in their rafters for sure.
Yeah. And I wonder when Simsy comes on for episode 200, if we're still going to stick to announcing we're going to retire Jeff Legui's number soon, right? Simsy, if you're listening, just curious.
I'm not part of them.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, episode 200 would be cool if you announced it in the shed. No pressure though, Simsy. No pressure. Just trying to help. Trying to help a shed guy out.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, another guy that's been to the shed. He's actually a shed legend is Evan Mosey. You were there for KitKat Get That we started here in the shed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got pelted by a couple of them, I think, right in the back of the dome. They were flying. I'm sure you've seen pictures and stuff, but that was insane. I didn't even really know I didn't know.
So you didn't know that happened in the shed, right?
No. So I found out after, but even like when it happened, like I knew something was happening because Mosey was just letting everybody know KitKat, whatever, KitKat Get That or whatever it was called. It was crazy. Have you had Mosey on since then? Yeah, and like there was like chocolate all over the ice and stuff, and then they had to ban it. They're like,
they banned it, eh?
They banned it.
I really think it's really cool that it happened though, like that, and it happened because the Steelers, to be quite honest, they supported the shed. Simsy came on, he retweeted stuff, he got me a whole bunch of new listeners, and when Mosey came on, we asked for stickers. And then there was a peanut issue, right? So we can't do that. We know that. We were wrong. We shouldn't have done Snickers. So then all of a sudden, right, the Steelers jumped on board and said, okay, not Snickers. Let's do KitKat Get That. And like even KitKat was writing to the Steelers and everything. And it all started here. It just warms my heart.
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Do you know, like, you probably get breakdowns where your listeners from? Are most of your listeners UK listeners?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost 70%. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's our honey hole, you could say.
Oh, yeah. Well, makes sense. And you were like, because you played in Cardiff, what, 2 years? Was it
1 year, and then I got hurt the second year. Yeah.
Oh no, what did you do?
The knee gave out. Yeah.
Okay.
I had PCL
Yeah.
reconstruction 6 years earlier, and then long story short,
brutal.
cartilage all broke off. Now I got a hitch
brutal.
in my giddy up, you know?
Oh, brutal. Yeah, I think the research team on my end is looking into you as well. I think
there's a few things you may not have
11?
seen on there. Yeah.
No, yeah, maybe.
I used to spray paint myself naked and do pregame speeches for the boys.
Oh, yeah, I think I missed that one. I think we missed that one. The research team missed that one.
Yeah, that's not on the line. You can't see that.
Yeah, no. Good. That's good. You got good numbers though. I saw like you over point per game year one, and then year two. Did you only play 10 games year two?
Yeah, that's when my knee went. Yeah. I believe other than the East Coast my rookie year, that was my own, like those 10 games was my only season not getting a point a game, but I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
go. But yeah, don't pump my tires. This is my shed. I'm pumping yours. Okay. Enough.
Yeah. Right.
Making me feel sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another way we know each other, shed guy, kit guy, Jeff Maxwell.
Yeah. Maxie. Yeah. Beauty. Absolute monster too. I think he's like 6, like probably the tallest guy I've ever seen. Like 6'7".
I've heard he's like an actual giant.
He's huge unit. He's a unit. A great guy though. Yeah.
When I said you're coming on, I posted it. He writes to me, little beast, you should ask him if he can get Cale Makar to the shed. And then
no.
And then I was like, I'm not sure what he's talking about. And then the research team got hot, and then I saw it. You played minor hockey with him.
Yeah, I know Cale. Yeah,
he's pretty good, eh?
Nasty, eh?
Was he that good when you guys were 15 and you're playing under 16 AAA? Did you know then?
No, not like he was good. He was always like one of the best players on our team, always.
Right.
And he was always like, and so I played with him and against him. And when you play against him, same thing. He's always the one on the pre-scout sheet, but no one saw like this
coming. Because watching him in the playoffs, like he honestly is like the best defenseman I've ever seen in my life.
Jesus. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Weird.
I mean, like he's got that trophy cabinet he's added, the Conn Smythe, the Cup winner already, the Norris already, and that's the other thing. I don't know if I saw something on Twitter about like Ryan Whitney was saying something about like the over under on his Norris trophy should be like 4 or something.
I think he'll win more. He's gonna win a bunch of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a player.
I found it very weird. He's playing in the NHL, and every time he touched the puck, something good happened. Like a teammate was getting a chance to score, or he was getting a chance. Like almost every time he touched the puck, it was weird.
Yeah, he's deadly. Like just a complete game changer. To be honest, he's a lot of fun to watch. Like that, his skating is next level. Just like it's already such a fast game, but he makes everyone else look so slow.
So
which is just
he's
crazy.
From your hometown. You guys grew up playing together. Is that the story?
Yeah. So he doesn't live far from me actually when he's here, but he's a Calgary boy. So in community, I played against him a lot. We weren't like, that's before like Bantam where you get into AAA and stuff, and then when you get into like AAA and AA and stuff, then we played for the same association and different teams there sometime. But then we played together that minor midget AAA or under 16s, and still in touch. Don't see him very often now. Obviously,
I know we just met, but if we hit it off tonight, maybe let him know that Shed's a fun place to go. Okay. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do for you. Anyways, here we go. So you are in Calgary right now, and the Stampede is going down right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow I got Zach Brown Band concert tickets.
And you're not even an active hocky player. You can just do whatever you want. You can have as much fun as you want, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Something like that. It's I've been I went Friday to have you been before?
No, I've really wanted to. I've heard great things.
It's so great, but it's so bad at the same time. Like it's just so
exhausting.
It's like you gotta pick your nights. Like I went into it I'm not
Is it 14 days?
10 days.
10 days.
But it's like, I'm just like, I went into it. I'm like, I'm not making plans. Cause if you make plans, like, I'll make like, 2-3 days here, more stuff comes up. Like people are going every single day. Different people going every day. And I can't do it. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
So,
well, just remember, but we said you're only 24. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know.
Focus
yeah,
up.
right.
Okay. Focus
up.
I
know. I don't have it in me.
Someday you'll just be in your shed talking about having fun. Okay.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. You're right.
Okay. Let's get out there. Live a little. Okay. So what all goes on at the Stampede? Is it like just beer tents? And then like, do you go to the events?
Yeah. So actually so it's kind of funny. Like my dad's like a news anchor, like a broadcaster or a sports reporter, bunch of stuff. I think he's a producer now, but he used to do like broadcast the rodeo and the chuck wagons and stuff every Stampede on, I think for CBC or Breakfast Television, one of those. And then but we'd be able to we'd go down all the time as kids. So the events are huge, the rodeo, the chucks. Now, like when I'm home, it's more like we talked about briefly, it's a short summer at home with everybody. So it just kind of turns into like a social, it's more than tents now.
Yeah.
Like just because that's where all my buddies are going and that's, that kind of thing. Exactly. But yeah, there's like 7 tents. There's like kind of like a bunch of rides you could do. The grounds are crazy. The events are nuts. But what's super underrated is the food trucks there are next level.
Talk to me.
Next level. They got.
What are we going with? Like,
they got everything. Well, deep fried Oreos. Like,
you're losing me. You're losing me. Stop.
No, trust me.
You're probably one of those sickos that's going behind the Fife Arena getting the deep fried Snickers or whatever.
Yeah, right? No. But I'm telling you, I'm like, it's crazy what they have there, and the deep fried Oreo. They've been around for a long time. I just had my first one, like last year, and I was like, okay, this is staple. So
really, deep fried Oreos a staple. I do. Yeah. I'm more of a meat and potatoes guy. I'm not really a dessert guy. I just always overdid like the main course,
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of, I don't know. You can find anything there. It's crazy.
All the different meats and
very expensive. It's very expensive 10 days if you're heading down. Everything around it like goes up. Drink prices go up, like even if they're not on Stampede or not. So it's kind of crazy, but.
Wow. Yeah. They may as well make their money when they can. How much would a beer be then?
Yeah. I think at the 10 I was at the other day, it was like $8. So
that's not that bad, man.
It's not. It's
just going to like a restaurant in town here is like $10 a beer now.
Yeah.
Makes me sick.
I believe it. It's not that bad, but my buddy bought a hot dog and it was $19 or $18. And it was a hot dog. And walks away from the food truck, gets bumped into,
loses it,
gone. Didn't even get a bite out of that.
That would have been a fancy hot dog, eh? Probably a lot of toppings on it.
Not as many as you'd think. This one. Now this one isn't where the food trucks were. This one is like in the tents where
just your standard bun and dog.
Eh? Yeah.
This one, and he's paying $20 for that shit with the food trucks around.
No,
you got to talk to that guy.
They're like you said, $8 beers. Not bad. But wait till you get the hot dog because that's where they get you.
Okay. You also by the way, the Calgary must be quite the hockey hotbed. So like I know the Cardiff Devils just had their summit with all the owners announcing the whole team, and that was at the Stampede too. So did you ever bump into those fellas?
No, I didn't. Do they do that? They do that every year here, I think, right?
They bring the coach and the GM Todd over, and then they announce stuff and have a shindig.
I think there are a bunch of Calgary guys that own it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't see him. There's so many people. Like I don't know where they were, and there's even like talking about tents and stuff. I think there's like 6 or 7 different tents now. Like
it's big, but Calgary is obviously a big hockey hotbed, eh? That
Oh yeah. There's a lot of it's a big city and it seems like just about everybody's a hockey player or was a hockey player at some point.
Yeah. Everybody I know from there is okay. Better move on now.
There you go.
We already have kind of covered this. Where and what are you doing now? You're gonna play men's league tonight. You're gonna play hockey tonight.
Yeah, it's a big game for the Clams tonight. Big
Clams
game. I think we're like 1-15, so we really need this win. We really need this one this year.
You better get after it then.
It's it's a winnable game tonight. But it's men's league now. I haven't played, like you said earlier in my introduction. I've like stopped playing at like 19 or something. So it's kind of stopped for a few years and picked it back up. Like just one of my cousins are all on this team and a couple of my friends and stuff. So
well, you got an interesting story of how you stopped playing hockey so young. So we're gonna have to get into this. So you are the assistant coach of the Sheffield Steelers.
Yeah.
So is your team recruited for next season? Are you guys done? You just haven't announced it all yet?
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close.
Couple like there's a couple more pieces, but yeah.
A couple guys playing hard to get. I know.
It's not even, you know how it is.
I do know how it is. Yeah, I do. So when do you go back to Sheffield?
My flight is like August 10th, so a little less than a month now.
Okay. So as the assistant coach, what is your responsibilities? Are you deep diving into like the research team getting hot for the coach and helping with all the recruiting? Are you phoning guys and like talking to them like you're in the shed trying to see if they're good guys?
That's more Foxy does most of that. There's a lot of like Foxy has a very good relationship with like agents and GMs and all over Europe. Especially it helps, like he was in the KHL for 5 years as a general manager or something like 5 years. And so his network and his circle is pretty impressive. So he does a lot of the talking and the recruiting and getting names. And then he'll send me names to watch video on. And then, and he watches as well. He watches all the guys and stuff. And we'll just kind of talk. So we just talk about everything. And
I did see his resume. The research team saw that. I'm surprised me and him never crossed paths. We were in similar circles there for a bunch of years.
Yeah. Did you guys play against each other? Because you were in Germany for a long time.
Yeah, but no, I just missed him everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Might have to get him to my shed, eh?
Yeah. I can't believe you asked me first. I was like,
you got to mess with them mentally sometimes. You got to get ready to catch it. Maybe I'll just talk to every one of his players before I'll talk to him. Just toy with him.
I was like, he must be getting desperate over here. Like when I got my message.
I saw that you were following this stuff. I like reaching out to people that already know what's going on.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and it's quite the story. You're in your 5th year of pro hockey and you're 24. You haven't played hockey since you're 19. Weird story. So let's do it. So growing up in Calgary, how'd you get into hockey? Everybody plays hockey there.
Played since I was 4 years old. So I kind of, just grew up with skates.
Yeah.
Nothing super special there. My grandparents had an acreage in the pond. And so I think I was like, we even knew how to skate before then, but then I actually started playing like organized hockey at like, I think it was called squirts when you're like 4 years old or something.
So you're born and raised in Calgary, right?
Yeah.
So minor hockey the whole way up there too, then.
Yeah, minor hockey the whole way until that 1 year in junior. But
yeah, so let's do that, eh? So is your Calgary team pretty good growing up? You got Cale Makar. You guys got to be all right.
Yeah. Well, that year in particular, when we had Cale, we were not very good actually. Jesus. There's some really, really good teams though. It's like, when I was playing Bull River Bruins, like community before AAA and stuff, we had a really good team, a lot of skilled guys. And then once you get to Northwest, how it works in Calgary is it separates into like 4 different, it's quadrants. So there's Northwest team, Northeast team, Southwest, and a Southeast team. And that's how they divvy up the teams that way. So that's how I, a lot
your
of
team might not have been the strongest.
Mostly hockey guys. No, we had good teams, but it kind of changed each year, to be honest. Like that AAA team, for example, that you brought up with that when Cale was on our team there. There's two teams from our quadrant. So then the coach, like, there's a draft every year, and you get drafted from the tryouts and the picks. So that's why, even though, I could play with guys one year and then play against them the next year.
That's bizarre.
Even it's a little bit of a different setup. So it's kind of different, but then, you don't get stuck with a rural team every year or a hot team every year. It changes each year. So.
I guess, yeah, it's just strange when you don't move and you're not with the same guys, but okay. So then under 16, you're AAA, under 18, you play AA, right?
Yeah.
And that's 2014-15, folks. That's when I'm playing for the Cardiff Devils. That's when my career is coming to an end. You're playing under 18.
Under 18, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully we can get along tonight, even with the generational gap here.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry. I'm surrounded by like I said, I think I'm one of the younger guys on the Steelers. So.
So how is that then as the coach, and you're as young as any of them?
Oh. Yeah, no,
they probably chirp you just like you're one of the guys, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Worse,
oh,
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to be able to. It's a locker room, right? You get chirped, and you got to be able to dish it back. But a good group of guys. I don't have a single thing to complain about.
That's great. Okay, so then how do you know Aaron Fox? I saw you went to Croatia with him. Where was the connection? Research team couldn't find it. Did you know him before that?
Okay, so I always kind of like, no, he hired me, and that was like my first job, and that's how I knew him. But the connection and how I got that opportunity was through my cousin. I have a cousin named Dylan Beston, and he was the video coach. He was the video coach for the Charlottetown Islanders in the QMJHL, and then his head coach Gord Dwyer. Do you know that name at all?
Yeah.
Gordy Dwyer. Yeah, he went to Zagreb as the head coach in the KHL. That's when they were in Russia.
I believe they came to Cardiff during that time for something.
Yeah, there was a training camp there. So my cousin would have been there. I don't know if you would have.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't there.
No. Okay. But he was video coach for them in the KHL. Then my first year was the first year they left the KHL, went to Austrian League, the EBEL, which is now called the Ice Hockey League, I believe. And when I got there, my cousin got a promotion, and so they needed like a video coach, and that's what I was looking to do. And my cousin got me that first opportunity, hooked me up with Foxy, and that was.
And you were so then that's kind of gets us into where we were going, but you were a junior hockey player, and you knew you wanted to be a video coach.
Well, I knew I wanted to be a coach. I didn't know like.
But you weren't even done junior hockey yet.
No, I've only played 1 year in junior hockey, and then I got into it. Like I was planning on doing 1 year, and then like I wanted to go to school for like sports management, and and see what came out of that. And then I got this opportunity, and
you've ran with it since. Yeah. Seems
like
it's going all right.
Get your foot in the door. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. So.
Okay, well then I got to backtrack again, back on the rails here. So you did the under 18, and then you went to a prep school somewhere?
Yeah, so it's again over here. There's that's prep is like AAA, and then varsity is AA. So I did it in Calgary, just at Canada Olympic Park at COP at Winsport. Played on that team, and it was just like a lot of travel.
So it's not an actual school you were at. You're just playing like AAA.
Yeah, but it was like in the school league, even though I didn't like change schools. So they're in the like CSSHL, like called the Canadian Sports School Hockey League or something. I could have butchered that. I don't know, but I think that's what it's called. There's a lot of really good teams in there, like Burnaby Winter Club. It was a nasty setup. Delta. There's a lot of the BC teams are really good. Edge, which is another Calgary school here, they play. But it actually just like I had to transfer to like online schooling. I did a couple classes online, but still got to like graduate from my high school and go to class at my high school And so it was like a weird transition.
Sounds
and played
strange.
it there. It was strange. Just super sweet facility, super good setup at COP though. You got to change it. Or like it's where Hockey Canada is. Their offices are and stuff, and their gym and all the
So
Olympic
they got
teams
all
train
the
and stuff. So
facilities then.
yeah, it was next level, and that kind of drew me there.
Okay. So then after that year, you go to the Columbia Valley Rockies. Where's that?
Yeah, that's in Invermere, BC. You ever been?
No, I haven't been to BC. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I know. I hear.
So it's unbelievable, and kind of like on what we were talking about, how when we got sidetracked there, how I kind of knew I wanted to do one more year of hockey. My parents have like a place in Invermere, like a little getaway cabin there, and
How far is that from
beautiful,
Calgary?
2.5 hours. Like it's awesome. Like maybe 3 hours. And it's like it's just beautiful, and it seems like so many people in Calgary like have those. It's like where a lot of people go. It's like a lot of like the lake homes and stuff, the boats, because they got a beautiful lake. And so I kind of knew I wanted to do that. The population, the winter is like I could be wrong. It's like 5,000 people or 10,000 people, and then it's like 60 in the summer, like 60,000 people. It's crazy. But yeah, I kind of just went there and knew I wanted to do one more year, and thought it'd be a fun place to go, get away from home. And
sounds like a nice place to go.
It was a blast. I had a blast there. A lot of fun.
And the research team is really hot. Was your coach Wade Dublowitz, the old goalie?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember him. He was like in AHL, NHL right when I was breaking into pro. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was with the
Islanders.
Right?
Yeah.
The Islanders. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So
good guy.
He's your coach there, eh? So that's a pretty good coach. He was an NHL player, right? So
yeah, good guy, really good guy.
So you knew after that 1 year, then that's when you get the video coaching job in Croatia when you're 18 years old?
Yeah, or 18 or 19, yeah.
And then you're just moving to Croatia after your year in BC.
Yeah, and it was it helped a lot. Like it was because of my cousin. Like he prepared me a lot, and I knew what to like expect. And I kind of had it. It wasn't like I was moving to Croatia like knowing nobody. I was moving to Croatia and had like one of my best friends there, because he was the assistant coach that time. And then the following year he left. He went to Vienna, signed in Vienna with Dave Cameron there.
Okay. So then what was it like moving to Croatia as an 18-year-old?
It was awesome. Like beautiful. Like it's the most beautiful place I've ever been, to be honest.
I've heard some wild things. I just saw my buddy in the airport when I was on my way to Matthew Meyer's testimonial. I saw Dave Kuzno, my mentor from Western Michigan, and he was on his way to Croatia for a vacation. And I've only heard like traveling the coast there is just wild.
It's wild. I highly recommend it. It's like, as far as like quality of life and living in city, like it's hard to beat. Like it was crazy. Now, like our team, the organization thing was a struggle at times. I'm sure you've heard from Maxie.
Yeah, I've heard a few things about that time there.
Yeah. But even my first year, like it was my first job too. Like I wasn't making a lot of money. Like it was more just me getting my foot in the door, and I knew like, I knew kind of like it was a more long-term like goal.
So what's the video coach doing then? Like, are you going through every game and like doing every forecheck, every D zone, and you're clipping every player's shift and you're clipping every power play? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So I would do that live. So I'd be like upstairs, like in the press box or whatever, and tag that all live, and then bring down my laptop in between periods, and then I have everything there for the coaches, for the players, for whoever. So I would do that live, and then I would also like pre-scout the other teams. Like if we were playing Red Bull Salzburg coming up, I would go through their most recent game and do the exact same thing.
So that the coaches can have everything they need ready.
Yeah, exactly.
How many hours do you got to be working to do that? Did you get to have fun when
Uh,
you're 18 in Croatia, or you're just working?
yeah, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, especially because I was also there to like learn as well. So like I was on the ice for all the practices and stuff, and in the office with the coaches too. Even I was trying to do more, like probably more than I needed to do, right? And just kind of
That's the only way
I
you get
didn't
ahead,
wanna,
and that's the only way he
yeah,
takes you with him to Sheffield. Just me
yeah,
thinking out
yeah,
loud.
yeah. No, you're right, exactly. It's exactly right. So it was a lot of hours, and like sometimes you like go cross-eyed looking at the computer screen all that
I
time. But
I
it's
always hated video. Couldn't stand it. I
yeah,
hated
but
watching video of
fair.
myself and the coaches telling me what I did wrong. I knew what I did wrong as soon as it happened. I didn't need nobody telling me.
Yeah, hey, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I understand.
But no, I understand it for a coach's perspective to have it all like bookmarked and exactly where you need it. Like coaches didn't have that when I was playing. That maybe makes me sound old, but coaches in Germany were not watching video or doing much and nothing.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's even like it's you could like again, you got to use it right too, because like it's like I've had conversations with guys this year. It's like you can break down a play and you can hit pause and slow it down and then adjust it. But like again, it's a quick game, right? So you're not everything happens so fast. You don't have that ability. It's easy now looking in hindsight what you should have done, right?
Yeah.
So I think again, it's still good to go over that, but you have to have like
You can't do it too much.
Exactly. I think coaches need to know that as well. Like, okay, like, we're not right. You still got to, it's so much easier from this chair in hindsight's 2020, but you really got to use it properly. But it's still, even though now I'm an assistant coach, it's still a lot of freaking video. So.
Right. And well, yeah, it would be. That's what it is nowadays, right? The game's changed.
Yeah.
You have to know
no.
what they're doing, right? You have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't just
exactly.
go out there and play and figure out what's going on like we used to.
No, not anymore.
Okay, here's one of my cutting edge questions here in the shed. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
As a coach, year one in Croatia, your team had Canadians, Croatians, a Norwegian, Swiss, Slovenian, Slovaks, Finns, Americans, Czechs, and Swedish players. So what's it like coaching all the different nationalities? They all are different. Where you were born and raised makes you who you are, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But it's 100% true. And that's why I think those like dressing rooms are it's awesome to be in there though. Because everybody brings in something completely different in the locker room. And that's probably that's got to be what you miss the most, isn't it?
Why do you think I came out here and started talking to people about their lives in hockey?
No,
it's because I miss doing it in the
right?
room. That's what you do, right? Get by the end of the season,
exactly
you're brothers because you know about their sister, you know about their brother, you know what their parents do, you know?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And I think like what's really tough about that is like you meet some awesome people, and like I can think of one guy off the top of my head I'm still in touch with and stuff. His name's Thomas Kudelka. He's Czech Republic, and he was on that team. And you just like, when are your paths going to cross again? And obviously in the hockey world they might. You never know, but
if you're still in that circle, right? Once you're not in that circle, man. My whole life of hockey was just dormant. It's like it never even happened for like 5 years.
Right.
Like there wasn't that much staying in contact. It's like, what do you even talk about when you don't see each other and you're not in the same line of work anymore?
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's just, that was like kind of, those are such unique locker rooms, but then you like create these like good relationships with people, and then you just kind of, it's crazy. You guys go that way. And you
may never see each other again though, right? Like there's a lot of guys I played with that I probably will never see in person again, but now I have this, I at least get to see people.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now you can, now you have a reason to come to the shed.
Man, like people used to say I was going to run out of guys. It's actually the exact opposite that's happened. Like, it's like with you, like I reach out like, hey, let's do this. And then some guys they must be so mentally mind effed by me because I said we were going to do it. And then all of a sudden I get totally sidetracked. It's like 2 months later. And I'm like, oh, hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's hilarious. What episode is this that we're on right now?
185.
Wow. And when did you start? When was episode 1?
January 31st, 2021.
Wow. That's a lot.
I've done a lot.
Awesome.
I've been busy.
That is a lot. Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah, it's been busy. Yeah. So actually, while I'm on the topic there, I never say this. I am open to sponsorships, folks. If people want to sponsor the shed, please reach out. I'm not going to call you. You're going to have to call me. I don't have a sales team. I'm just talking to my shed, having fun, but I do have a dream that someday I'll get compensated doing this with my friends. I don't currently, but it'd be cool to get sponsored. And if you like what I'm doing out here, just reach out, right?
Perfect.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Doors always open, folks. Okay. So Croatia, food, what's it like there? I've heard a couple times. Seafood and stuff, right?
A lot of seafood, especially down like by the coast, and a lot of meat. Like they do a lot of like meat plates and stuff, and it's fantastic food. It's fantastic food. Like even in Zagreb, like you're a couple hours from the coast still, but it's just awesome and so cheap.
Ugh.
Like so cheap.
Yeah, you're talking dirty to me already. We just met.
Yeah.
Your team any good while you guys were there? You guys had some money issues.
Yeah, we had some major money issues. I think we did very well our first year. My first year there, sorry, in the Ebel. We were like we have the lowest budget. When we were there, we had the lowest budget in the league. And yeah, late paychecks and stuff, and it was a little bit of a struggle. But that being said, I think there's 12 teams in the league, and we finished 5th going into playoffs. So we did quite well, and we lost, I think, in game 6 of the first round to Linz, who I think finished 3rd or something. I don't know. So they're ahead of us. Yeah. So we did well, all things considered, that first year. The second year, if you want, do you want to get into the second year yet?
I think it's time. I think it's time. Okay. The only thing is, like, you as a player, it's over now, pretty much. I guess we're going back one more time, but why don't you give me yourself? Why don't you give a player review of yourself? Because I screwed up last time. I don't have the confidence anymore to do a player review.
Okay. Player review of myself. I was kind of a piece of shit, just like a rat, and never been a huge guy, but I was fast, not a skill guy, just quick feet, and I'd
penalty killer,
penalty killer, and I'd be like net front power play guy, like just because I could take abuse, but that kind of I'd throw my weight around a lot and do a lot of dirty plays. I think I had a lot of penalty minutes. Yeah, a lot of penalty minutes.
Okay, fair enough. I think I could have got that anyways. I think I already do that, but I think my confidence is going back, but I should have done it. Okay, so then you knew that you weren't making it as a player, I guess. And you were like, I want to stay in hockey. I love hockey and I want to be a coach, right?
Yeah.
And then that opportunity just kind of puts its head up there and you put your resume in, and next thing you know, you're on your way to Croatia.
Yeah. And just pretty much nailed it. Thanks to, it helped that I had my cousin out there who had that. He basically got me that first job.
And that Fox, he went from playing to like straight into being like their GM, right?
Yeah, I think he was like a player. Yeah, he was a player for Innsbruck, and then got, I think, you're gonna have to have him and ask.
I'm gonna have to ask him because it seems interesting that like a guy that young, like went straight into getting like a GM job of a team. Must be a pretty impressive guy. Is he impressive?
He played.
He's a bit of a competitor,
he switched on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. I think to be a coach, you need to be.
Oh yeah.
Especially in pro hockey.
Yeah, I've seen a couple like interviews with him. He's always got his game face on, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 He's definitely means business, but he's yeah, we have
He's
a
got
good time
respect
too.
around the world though. Eh? I've saw his resume, and
Yeah,
then you're getting jobs like that. It ain't like suspect dudes getting those jobs right out of
no,
playing, do you know?
no.
Okay. Second year though, you guys go tits up, eh?
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough year where basically we just stopped getting paid. About November, December time. And it
A
was
full
brutal.
team across
We
the board, like nobody.
well, so yeah, more or less, I think, to be honest. It might have so what happened was is like our where our money was coming from, like they just didn't have they ran out to pay imports or something. And so then our imports all left, and we didn't want we also weren't getting paid, but we didn't want to be a part of that. We're like, right, you guys gonna get beaten 10-0 and talking about competitive. Like, this is not a competitive team we're gonna have here. Like,
Well,
no fun.
I've seen
So
it before in Europe. Like there was a year in Germany, there was a
yeah,
team, God, Landsberg. So they're in the second league. They have a great team. We're halfway through the season and they literally just couldn't pay the guys anymore. So all the imports leave. They all go to like the DL, and then they play the rest of the season with like not even half the team they used to have, and they would just get throttled every night. And that was the only
yeah.
way they didn't
So
go
that's
bankrupt.
what yeah, that's exactly it. And that's what happened. They finished the year, but it was like
Yeah.
you said, they got throttled 10. I think they got like be like 13-0 by like Vienna. And like these teams aren't even dressing their guys, right? Like it was and no, so we don't want to be a part of that, obviously. So we like
No.
stepped away or like get out of here. But yeah, it's tough. It's too bad because it's a beautiful place and the fan base is awesome there, and they deserve to have hockey teams. I hope someday it
So
can
there
work out
isn't
and we can
one
get a
there at
team
all
back
right
there.
now. There's nothing there.
I don't think so.
That
They might
sucks.
have like one, like a men's league team or something, but there's no top end team, which is just
Sounds
too
like a
bad.
great
It's really
place to play.
it is unbelievable, man. It's so cool. Such a great city, and like same thing, man. The fans is crazy. I didn't know they knew what hockey was in Croatia, and I mean, I think they have 2 rinks in the whole like city, and one of them's like or not even a rink basically, and then the one we're in is it was awesome, and the fan base and the following they got was super impressive, and I really hope they get a team back there because it's awesome. It's a great
Well,
place.
I do know growing up in Canada, I had no idea how much hockey was being played around the world. I got a better idea nowadays. Got to talk to all these
Yeah,
people.
yeah, no kidding. Hey, it's insane. And same thing when I like even England, like there's people I talk to here, like what I'm doing, and like they have no clue. They just have no idea what it's like over there.
In
The
England.
fan, yeah, England, Croatia. I don't think there's a lot of people here don't
They
know
don't
about hockey
understand
over.
how passionate the fans are, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh.
how passionate the fans are, and actually how good the hockey is. I don't like no one
The
understands
resumes
it.
of the players going to the EIHL nowadays is like they're players.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're legit. They can all play, and it's impossible. Like it doesn't matter what I say to people, they won't get it unless you go. They need to watch a game.
Well, I never realized how few of jobs there are in Europe and the world. Like I was very naive when I was playing. When I was in Beatingheim and I just kept getting re-signed and like they want me back. It's like once you start needing new jobs and needing to find new teams, like for a team to actually
Yeah,
take a chance on you over all the other dudes out there,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's either
yeah,
a connection or they've seen you play and were wooed by you. Like there's always a reason why they
yeah.
want you, right?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So how do you, I guess we talked about your recruiting a bit. Okay. So you just stop getting paid. So then you leave and you go back to junior hockey.
Yeah, this is really funny actually. Like you said, I was young.
You've been a
so I think it
pro
was like
video coach for a year and a half, and now
yeah,
you're back to junior hockey.
Yeah,
Folks,
yeah,
you
it
never know
was-
what you're going to hear in the shed.
No, you never. No, and this is funny actually too, like the whole way this came about. But I actually played. Yeah, I don't even know how many games I played. But then I talking about you, about my player review I gave myself earlier.
Yeah.
A little bit of a a nut job. But there's this guy who's like 6'3", 6'4". It's the last regular season game of the year, and the puck's right in between the two of us, and I'm like totally disregard the puck. I'm like, I'm going through this guy, like him and he had the exact same idea. So neither of us go for the puck, and we just collide right behind the net. He dropped, and my shoulder was just down, like it was brutal. You can actually still see it.
I saw it when you did that. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Stop that.
No,
Put your shoulder back in.
It's
Put
terrible.
it in. Put it in.
You podcast listeners, just take our word for it. It's pretty gross. So I have a pretty
well just threw up in my mouth there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it was I like separated my AC joint and tore and stretched some ligaments and dislocated my shoulder as well. And then
so that's the end of that season.
That's the end of that season. I'm riding back from the hospital in like a sling, and then I get a phone call from Foxy, or actually I think it was a FaceTime video call. And we were in touch the whole time. He just let me know what he had going on because he left Zagreb when I left, and he's let me know. He's like, I got a couple offers here, but I think I'm gonna go with this one in Sheffield. Would you be interested in coming as an assistant coach there, coming with me? And I'm like, yeah, like that'd be great. Awesome. Not opposed to that at all. And he's like, okay, time out. What the fuck happened to your shoulder, man? Like, what's going on here? He didn't even know I went back and played, and he just burst out laughing, just losing it on the phone. Like, he's like, you're an idiot. You're such an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I tried it. One last kick of the can.
Well, you have to, right? You have to.
Yeah, you have to. But yeah, then that was it. And then I ended up.
So that's how the season ends. But then you already have the job in Sheffield. So that's a strange feeling. You get hurt in junior hockey, and you have you're an assistant coaching job in pro. Weird stuff, eh?
Yeah, weird.
Most guys are trying to get a pro contract after junior, right? You're getting a coaching job.
yeah. It just happened literally right on my way back from the hospital. So it's kind of funny.
So when you guys were in Croatia, though, you also had a guy you took with you to Sheffield, that Armstrong, big tall dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a great player. And a great guy. You should have him on too.
I figured he's a good dude if you guys bring him with you, right? That's how the hockey world works. Is like when you get a great player and you switch.
Yeah,
there's certain coaches that bring guys with them, right?
Well, you know what? It was almost the other way around because Army was in Sheffield before he came to Zagreb. And he played there for a couple of years. He wanted to get to a better league or like try it, took a crack at it in Sheffield. We, like you said, we fold that year, tough year. Army finds himself back in Sheffield to finish that season. And then the opportunity came himself. So I'm sure a lot of that had to do with Army, to be honest, because
they would have asked him.
Exactly. So.
Wow. Hey,
but
people helping people, it's a powerful thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Another guy that would be familiar to some of the listeners would be a guy that played in Cardiff, David Bryan, played for you in Croatia.
Yeah. He's Croatian too, actually. So
he's Croatian.
Yeah. I think he has his passport.
Did David Amonte get it for him?
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say, I think he counted as a Croatian for us. So
Amonte was telling me he had some crafty things going on in Croatia for a few years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. So then, so your shoulder went like when you go back to junior, is that the end of the season or like when was it?
Yeah,
in the year?
it was the last regular season game. So I didn't even get to play the playoffs. The last regular season game. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well, so then you get to Sheffield. Okay. So you're like the youngest guy and you're the assistant coach.
Yeah, I think I was my first year in Sheffield. I would have been like 21 or something. 20 maybe. I don't know. 20 or 21. One of those. I'm 24 now, 21.
Interesting dynamic though, right? Isn't it? I never
Yeah.
had a coach
Oh,
that
yeah.
young.
No, it's definitely an interesting dynamic, but I'm also don't have to be, as an assistant coach, I don't really have to be the bad guy, which helps a lot, right? It's not like
You can kind of be one of the boys, right?
Yeah. I can, yeah, you got to walk, and I got to be careful with that as well. Obviously, I have to walk that line a little bit, especially being so young. And
got to be tough at 24 to not want to go out with the fellas and get into her.
No, yeah, I like I'll pick my spots. I think I go like I'll maybe do a Christmas party with them, and then when we win a trophy at the end of the year, I'll go out with them then. You know, those are my kind of my two times, and that's all it is. I think just it's important to walk that line, and like I think I do it quite well. You know, I get to be, you know, I don't get to go out with them, but I might be able to go and be like, you boys go out last night, how was it? You know what I mean? I can do that I can kind of walk.
As long as you're not going and telling on them, right? Because then it'll be the last time they ever tell you.
No, exactly. That's exactly it. That's what I'm talking about. You got to walk that line somewhere in between.
Because they know if you rat them out.
oh yeah. No, they can smell it on you for sure.
Oh yeah, I've had those guys before do it to the fellas. They don't forget that shit.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So then that first year though, I honestly don't know how everything goes. I should know after all the chatting I've done, but you guys win the Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
You sent me that picture, eh?
Yeah.
Still hard for me to see the Steelers winning shit. I know I should be over it by now, you know. KitKat get that.
Doubles, I think we won that in your doubles barn too there.
It looked familiar, yeah.
Yeah. No, that was
so who'd you beat?
Awesome for us. Cardiff.
Oh yeah, in their own barn.
Yeah. So it was it was a weird one actually. We were the home team because we were the higher seed, but it was just like a neutral venue. And that was so cool. We won 4-3 that game. And the atmosphere was probably like the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of in hockey. And I've been part of games where there's 9,500 people in Sheffield, and it's just those are electric too. But what was so cool about that Challenge Cup game is it was split right down the middle,
50-50.
The Steelers fans, the orange on this side, the red on this side, and they're just, and you know what? How many seats are in Cardiff? 3,000, 3.5 or something.
Yeah, something.
So split like 1,500 people each, but they're just competing for noise the whole time. And
that sounds fun. That's when hockey's fun.
Oh yeah, it was the coolest atmosphere ever. And I think like even for me, like obviously you want that trophy, but just probably like you when you go to England, it's hard to wrap your head around, like, oh, you get 3 chances to win a trophy here, and you know that's all strange. But and you know, I always knew like the league was the big one, so I didn't really know what to expect for this Challenge Cup game.
I literally totally understand, because when I went to the UK, there were games that were counted as league and Challenge Cup games. There were just Challenge Cup games. There was league games. Oh yeah, there's the double dippers. And
they don't do that anymore.
Oh, if you lost it one of those games, man, they were upset. But like I didn't even understand it all. And then when you finally figure it all out and you're like, okay, it's all about the league ones, and this Challenge Cup is a Challenge Cup. But then we got to the finals of it and we play in Sheffield against Sheffield, and man, I could not believe how many people were there.
That's what I mean. It was so crazy. And when I first actually started to realize was when I was we don't get a coach's office when we're in Cardiff. We work out of the bus. So we're parked outside in the bus, and the lineup was like wrapped around the arena. And that's kind of when I was like, I wake up call, like, okay, wow, this is so they care about this one too. You know,
they sure do. Yeah. So, it's funny when you're in the group stage, everybody kind of pretends like they don't care. You get to the semifinals and the finals, people really care. Winning a trophy is winning a trophy, right? I mean,
exactly. And then same thing, like we get in the bus and all the guys are like, okay, quick, let's go. And like everyone's in a hurry to get home. And I guess it's every trophy you win in Sheffield, you go back to the arena and the fans meet you there. And
really?
So yeah, and it's like a little bit of a tradition. So we get back on this, and this is like, this Challenge Cup was on a Sunday. We probably get back to Sheffield's arena at like, I don't know, 1:30, 2 a.m. There was like I don't know, 1,000 fans are waiting, just like losing their marbles and
They're
just
taking
wanted
the
to
day
like,
off work, eh?
oh, it was awesome, man. It was so cool. It was so cool. And that's just what I mean. Like talks about trying to tell people about like the following over there when like in Canada here, they don't get it. But you've seen it. You need to see it, right? Like,
Oh
it's the only
man,
way you understand.
it really is wild. But was that your first time winning?
That was my first time. Yeah. And it was my first year in Sheffield.
Yeah. Man, winning is like, it's very addictive stuff.
Oh, it's right after. It's the first thing I said. I was like, I want to do this again.
Oh yeah, you have to.
But that being said, too, it's like the losing.
Makes it worse, right?
Also, what? Yeah, and when you lose too, though, like it makes the lows are what make the highs so, worth it. Like because now I've been there 3 years. Well, 3 years. I guess we had the COVID year, so it was almost 2 full years. We won, the cup that year. We didn't get to finish the rest, obviously, because of COVID. And then this last year, second place sucked.
Second place is so brutal.
It's the worst. It's the worst. But
how many points was it? Because so both years I was in Cardiff, we lost. I think it was by 2 points both years to Sheffield. So I've had a hard time with the Orange for so long. Yeah. I don't hate the Orange that much anymore. When Sheffield Steeler fans can drive to Cardiff to meet me at the testimonial, you know what? You got KitKat, get that. There's thousands of KitKats in the ice. Maybe it's time for me to move on,
Nah, 100%. Yeah, I think you got to at least.
I got a Challenge Cup, right? Yeah,
exactly.
I'll never forgive you. I'm not. Yeah, losing sucks. Losing sucks.
Yeah. So now I've done both in Sheffield. So it's obviously there's only one that you don't want to do ever again. But.
So another guy I just met from your team that he's on a couple of your poster pictures, Davy Phillips.
Yeah,
he's a beauty, eh? Yeah.
That guy's a full-time beautician. He's a great guy, awesome guy. Really big fan of Dave. What a player too. You would have played against him too, yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I feel like I don't know if he was on Sheffield the whole time when I was in the UK, but I don't know.
There was there was a time when he was in Manchester, and you could have been a Manchester guy.
I don't know. I could be making stuff up, but I do remember him in Sheffield. Yeah. The funny story, I just heard about him. So Matthew Myers and his wife, Nairi, we drive to by Gatwick before our flights. And we were just telling stories, having a casual night there at the hotel. And I guess Davy Phillips once, or I guess just this year with Team Great Britain, was mooning Maisie, right? Like had her opened up there. And it was Nairi looking at it, not Matthew. Nairi came to the door. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it
sounds like Davey.
Yeah, and so Matthew's wife got to see it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. He's a 10 out of he's a stand-up guy. 10 out of 10.
I know, and he said he's gonna come to the shed too. Yeah. That's the thing. Is like, how do I have the time to do all this?
He's one you need because he's got some stories, and the best part about Davey's stories though is his delivery. I
hardly had a chance to get to talk to him. It was such a busy weekend, man.
Good then, because then that'll make for a good episode then.
Oh yeah.
He is seriously like probably the funniest guy I've ever coached, like ever. Like he's our class clown, and just
you need those guys.
And that being said, I gotta say too, like he's also like
he's a gamer.
So he's such a gamer, so well respected. The boys, like he
may joke around, but he's when it's go time.
Oh, he knows exactly. Yeah. But just probably the funniest guy I've ever coached. He's a great guy.
Okay. So then what was it like then? You talked about the COVID stuff there, the season getting shut down, which Cardiff would have won, right? But either way.
Yeah.
So with COVID and everything though, and like you're a young guy, you had a contract with Sheffield, but like What was like, were you talking with the players a lot? Did you have a team signed? I don't even know what all went on. Like, what do you do during all that?
Yeah, well, we had a team signed. We were all ready to come back and all ready to go. We were getting ready to start in October, and then October turned into November, and then November turned into December, and then it started to. Then we had to start we're not let guys go out of their contracts and play elsewhere, and so our team that we had signed kind of disappeared because we had no jobs to give them. So it was so strange, man. And it was the longest wait ever because obviously everyone had to live through it. It was terrible, but also like you had that date circled on when you get to start and when you get to go back at it, and then it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and that was.
And
brutal,
when you're a hockey guy and you can't wait for the next season, like
no,
I remember when I was a player, man, I couldn't wait to get back and see all the boys and get going with them.
100%. And that's why I was like, I almost wish like, okay, we ended up getting the elite series going in like April, and it was like a month long, but until then it was tough because you're just almost rather just known from the beginning May, because then you kept getting let down every time you found out it wasn't going to be this day or this day or this day. And eventually we got the elite series going, which was.
So you guys were over there for that because it was mainly just British guys playing in that, right?
Yeah. It was. Each team had 8 imports only for that, and there's 4 teams, and so we did like a draft.
Mizey was on your team, right?
Yeah,
because he built his camper van with Jono. He said,
yeah,
that time.
Yeah, he was on our team for that. And again, it was like 5 weeks, so it wasn't much. I didn't get to work with them a ton, but yeah, that's where I would have coached them.
Yeah, that would have been a really trying time for hockey players, but also coaches. You don't really think of them. I don't. Oh, yeah. I always think about the players, but
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It was a hard time when I saw some of my buddies, right? That especially the older ones, that it's like a lot of them were pushed out of the game because of it all, where it was time to move on, which a lot of them made that decision. Then there were some of them that were ready to go when it started again, and they're still doing well. Right, they're my age, and I'm proud of those guys.
Yeah, no, that's right. We had one guy, Army. He actually kind of like retired, and because of it, like you said, forced into it, and then he called Foxy and I said, "F this, man. This sucks. I'm coming." As soon as we had the next season, he's like,
isn't he dead now though?
Yeah, so he had one more year, and then he got he got a really good job opportunity, a real job, if you want to call it that, at the end of the year, and he had to take it. So he's done now, but he's also a Calgary guy, so I still see him quite often, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys have had like some great players on that team. That one guy that just left, that he seemed to be a fan favorite. That Valorant.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Interesting skates on him. Those boots are something, eh? What are they, white?
Okay. No, they're all black.
Black. I knew they were weird.
Black
yeah.
Tucks, like black laces, black tucks. Yeah, he got chirped for that pretty aggressively from the boys.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to put up some points wearing boots like that, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. That's the thing, though. I actually.
You're putting pressure on yourself in those boots, right? You're gonna have to produce.
He loved it. He loved the spotlight. Like I actually think he wanted like a target on his back, and that's why he did it. He's just that kind of guy.
Well, and some guys play better, right? When they.
Yeah, he did. He was that guy. He thrived off it. So I was like, all right, stick with him.
So yeah, it's an interesting league, though, eh? Let's be honest. There's Belfast, Sheffield, and Cardiff these days.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
But it's not easy to win a trophy, is it?
Man, it was brutal. And even this, like, you play 54 playoff games. You're playing playoff games in September, and that's crazy to pound that through the new guys' heads.
It is a thing. You have to the sooner they realize it, the better, right? Because it's true. My first month in the UK, I totally didn't get how important every single game was.
No. Well, it was even a learning curve for me, and when I first got there. But working, it was definitely a wake up call. And, you know, and you hear it all the time. And sometimes too, like, you know, guys probably feel stupid or we're coming in there saying like our season's on the line here, you know, at the in the beginning of October or something, you know what I mean? The guys are losing it, but it's like not that far off. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's such a mental grind for the guys too.
Well, and it starts again soon here. Like, man, I can't believe how fast time goes in the shed here. Like, yeah, I've done 185 episodes and life's going by really fast these days, but like that, like another season's going to start and like,
I know
I'm still doing the podcast and like, we're still chatting. And like, then there's all these other guys I could talk to. There's new guys signed in different places. And like guys I've already had on or reaching out, like, do you want to talk about beside it here or there? And I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's fun to be back in the game, you know?
Oh yeah. And you've done really well. Like you said, fans in England are wearing your podcast shirt and jerseys and
who would have thought the Sheffield Steelers and I'd be getting along, right?
That's what I mean, eh?
2022, folks. Wild times.
We're not so bad, eh? Not so bad.
You know, when you start talking around, all these hockey guys are really kind of the same. We just wear different outfits each year.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, no, that's true.
But like, and that's what's interesting to me is the more I talk around, it's all about like your work ethic, the type of person you are. And those are the people that stay in the game. Those are the people that like continue to get jobs in the game are because guys like you are calling around saying, hey, what type of guy is he? What type of teammate is he?
Yeah.
And every year you weed out the ones that aren't that great of teammates, right?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kind of what happens in pro hockey, folks, right? At least we try to.
And you meet some of the best people. Exactly. And you meet some of the best people too that, you know, that's hockey brings a lot of people together that way too, that you would have
never met, right? Like all those people you talk about, the different nationalities and where they're from.
Yeah.
Exactly. You would have never met them. I would have never been to Germany. Exactly. I would have never been to Wales, England. I would have just been at home, you know?
Exactly.
Well, I'm not sure what else I got other than you said, like, why did you have you on instead of the head coach? Well, I find it quite interesting when you're 24 years old and you've already been coaching pro for 5 years and you seem to have all the respect to the players and you're just a young punk. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm just happy to be involved in the game still, just like yourself.
Well, you seem to be doing a good job, but you know,
thank you. Appreciate that.
I just not sure how loud I'm going to be cheering for your team next year, you know, but the Devils do look like they got a squad. The Devils look like they got a squad. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. They put together a good team. Yeah. They look like they put together a really good team there.
They really put it all out on the table, you know, laid it right out there.
Yeah. And yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And Brody, good hire there. He did a good job to finish last season with the boys there. I haven't met him yet, but I think we have like a coaches meeting and have you had them on? Have you had Brody?
I did after they won it. Yeah, I had DuPont and Neil Francis on after they won it. Yeah.
Neil Francis. Yeah, nice. But was he there? Because Neil Francis has been involved with them for a while.
He was the bench coach my first year, never played me enough. I still give him shit about it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, him and Lordo he was the bench coach. Lordo was the player coach.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're not a lot of. I don't think we have any player coaches in there anymore. But I've heard a lot of player coach stories.
It was the thing, man. Yeah.
Well, I got one question for you then before we leave. How is that like? Having a player, was he like does he wear equipment while he's like drawing drills up on the board and stuff?
Yeah, he was in full gear. He had a whistle on his glove and he would legit like be going in on a 3-on-2 and then like blow the whistle and then take the shot for the next rep. It was wild.
Wow. Okay. And talk about walking the line. Is that weird too? Like,
so when he first became the head coach, he'd go out on the town with us at the start of the season and like we would be running amok in town, right? Like walking down the street with your head coach and it was living. And I think each year he separated himself more and more and more. and then just became like the coach, right? And not even the player. But that first year when he takes over as a player coach, and like, you know, he was like, this is our team together. And it was, man, it was a wild year. It was fun.
Crazy. He's a good guy. I really like Florida in the few times I met him.
Well, this is strange to say, but I like the Orange are like probably almost my second favorite team in the league now, you know.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, if you had a number 2 now.
Well, Manchester's is up there too, you know. We've had, had their new coach on, had Finner on, you know, they're a low budget team. I like to root for the underdogs, you know. So and I like their barn, right? I like their barn. So
not me.
I understand. I understand.
On that. I am not a fan of that barn.
I totally understand that. I totally understand. Yeah. You're used to your nice arena in Sheffield, the big lights, all the nice seats.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you prima donnas.
I know.
But no, I think it'd be cool if the Storm could have a good season with the new coach. He seemed like a dandy when he came to the Shed. And Finner's a good dude. Those are my 3 teams right now, I guess, right? Those are by honey holes right now in the UK. Yeah. Thanks everybody.
Those are good 3.
So anyways, thanks for coming and keep on running amok in the coaching world. And so what's your goal then? You're just going to keep going with like the assistant coaching and then hopefully you do well. And then like, is there going to be a time where you're going to want to try and take on the head coaching thing, or you just 1 year at a time?
I think long-term goal, definitely like to be a head coach, but we talked a lot about my age and I'm in no rush to do that. I just want to make sure I don't want to make that jump too early, right? I just want to make sure when I do that,
and you get the right opportunity.
Ready, yeah. Exactly.
There are bad opportunities in Europe. People may not understand that, but you could take over a team and have a shitty owner and no money to work with.
And then never get another opportunity come by again. So it's more about where I'm at and how I feel, because I still, I still got lots to learn. I'm still a young guy. I want to make sure it's the right time and don't do that too early. And, when, like you said, make sure the right opportunity presents itself when I do that.
Yeah. And there is a lot to learn in coaching, man. I coached under 11s last year, and like each situation, right? Like you could review or like practices, what drill went well. And it's like,
it's crazy. And you always got to go in with a plan every game. And I run the penalty kill for Sheffield, and you break down every team's power play, best way to do it. You might change it. A lot of conversations with the guys, and then it's also more important than anything too, though. It's managing people. You almost have to have like 20 different coaching styles, because
everybody's different. That's like we said with the nationalities. Every guy is different. There's guys you can be hard on. There's guys that you got to rub their back. There's guys that like you can be honest with, and then there's guys where you have to pretend they didn't suck even when they did.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So it's you need to make sure you got 20 different styles and you can manage them all very well. And so that's it's a lot to learn. So.
Well, sounds like you know what you're doing, and quite impressive the career you've already got going on here at such a young age. Strange stuff.
That. Thank you.
We'll keep on running amok, sir. And this has been another episode of 2 Ales and Hockey Tales with Little Beast and Wally.